Okay, so imagine this. It's 6 in the morning. You're standing right in the middle of an airport terminal.
Oh, the worst.
The absolute worst. The air conditioning is just blasting that specific kind of cold, you know? The lights are humming, and it is just pure chaos.
It's sensory overload. It's almost designed to be a high-stress environment.
Exactly. People are running past you with those little wheeled suitcases that always tip over. And in the middle of all this, you're standing in front of the departure board. Your flight leaves in 30 minutes. You check your pocket, your bag,
Oh, no.
and you realize you don't have your passport.
That is the nightmare. That is the moment where your stomach just drops through the floor. It's a pure fight, flight, or freeze response.
And for most of us, it's freeze. And that's exactly where we're starting today. But the story we're getting into isn't just about a missed flight. We're looking at a narrative called Love Across Borders, a journey of digital hearts and chaos.
Right. And I think it's important to say this isn't just a simple romance story.
Hmm.
If you look at the source material, it's really a case study in something we're calling the Neverland Syndrome.
Neverland Syndrome. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break that down for us before we jump into the story.
So it's not the Peter Pan thing of, refusing to grow up. It's more about refusing to let the boring logistical part of adult life win.
Okay.
It's about keeping that capacity for adventure, for seeing the cinematic in the mundane. It's looking at total disaster and seeing a plot twist instead.
I love that. So our mission today is to trace this journey of two people, Aryan Mehra and Rhea Kapoor, and really unpack how a lost passport kicked off this huge life change.
And specifically how two totally opposite personality types, polar opposites, created this professional and romantic powerhouse. It's order meets chaos.
All right, let's set the scene. We're back at the airport. Our protagonist, Aryan Mehra. The sources paint a pretty clear picture. He's 29, a software consultant.
And my favorite description, a professional overthinker.
Yes. You know this guy. He lives by data. He has contingency plans for his contingency plan.
For sure. He's the one with the itinerary printed out, saved on his phone, and probably emailed to 3 different people just in case.
Which makes this whole passport situation just so much worse for him. He's frozen, defeated. He sees it as a personal failure. And then she shows up. Rhea Kapoor.
And the contrast is, it's just so stark. You picture him in a gray suit and sort of blending in. And she's described as this burst of color, oversized sunglasses, a bright scarf the text calls a flag of rebellion.
A flag of rebellion. I love that. And she doesn't offer sympathy. She walks right up to him and says, "Excuse me, are you staring at the board like it owes you money?"
That line is everything.
Yeah.
It just shatters the frame.
Yeah.
He's living in a tragedy, and she walks in and reframes it as a comedy.
And introduces herself as a professional chaos navigator.
Part-time traveler, full-time mischief maker. It completely disarms him. It pulls him out of that panic loop he's stuck in.
She sees the same situation, the noise, the missing passport, and her brain just processes it differently. She sees a puzzle.
A game to be won.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts what the story calls a whirlwind of organized chaos.
Right. This isn't them just calmly checking under a chair. It's like a heist movie.
Yeah.
She's got him charming security guards. They're diving around.
And there's actually a psychological concept for this, the misattribution of arousal. When you're in a high adrenaline situation with someone, your brain can mistake that feeling for attraction. They're bonding through the chaos.
And it works. They find the passport snuffed in a lining of his bag, and they just sprint to the gate. They make it. And as they're catching their breath, she says something that really sums up the whole story.
What's the line?
She says, "One minute you're losing your passport, the next you meet someone who makes you forget it exists."
That's it right there. The chaos wasn't the problem. It was the entire point. If he hadn't lost that passport, he'd have just gotten on the plane and missed his entire future.
So the meet cute is over. The story moves to Calgary. And this is where we see that they aren't just, quirky characters. These are serious professionals.
Absolutely. This is where it goes from rom-com to a power couple case study. Let's look at Rhea. She's not just some free spirit. She's an instructor at SAIT, the tech institute there.
And her background is heavy. She's done curriculum development for Meta, for Coursera, for Dell.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who's not in that world, that's a huge deal. That means taking incredibly complex technical stuff and making it understandable for millions of people.
So she organizes chaos for a living.
Exactly. She masters it. She understands the structure of the storm.
And then there's Aryan. His job as an AI consultant is literally to find messy data and build systems to create order from it.
He's a professional order maker.
Yeah.
So you got the order maker and the chaos master in Calgary. and they start dating.
And it's not your typical dinner and a movie thing?
No, it's hiking in the Rockies, late-night poutine runs,
Yeah.
lots of debating. The sources mention this running argument about pineapple on pizza,
A classic.
a classic test of a relationship.
Huh.
But it's playful. It shows they can disagree without it becoming a real fight.
So why does this opposites attract thing actually work for them? Psychologically, I mean.
It's about complementarity. It's not just that they're different. It's that they fill in each other's gaps. He provides the stability that lets her be adventurous.
And she brings the excitement that pulls him out of his rigid routines.
Precisely. But then, of course, the real world has to interfere.
The bubble has to pop, the villain of the story. Geography.
Right. Aryan gets a 6-month project back in Toronto. And suddenly, this fun whirlwind romance has to face reality.
You can feel the shift. Rhea has this line, are we supposed to text each other like desperate teenagers? And that just hits so hard. It's that fear that the connection is too fragile.
For a guy like Aryan, a planner, long distance is a nightmare. Too many variables. Too high a chance of failure.
But this is where his overthinking personality actually becomes a superpower. He doesn't just say, oh, we'll figure it out. He engineers a solution.
He makes her a survival kit, which is such a perfect Aryan move.
Break it down for us. What's in the kit?
It's not just like a gift basket. It's curated. Books he knows she'll like, local snacks, and the best part is these handwritten notes he's hidden everywhere. In her coffee mug, in a book.
So he's creating an asynchronous presence.
Exactly. It's a way of saying, I'm still here, even when I'm not here. It's an act of service. That's his love language, clearly.
So they do the digital thing, FaceTime. But what I find interesting is that they're not just pining for each other. They're talking about work.
Yes. This is so important. They're sharing AI project updates, curriculum problems. They're keeping that intellectual bond alive. They respect each other's minds.
And then we get this little reunion tease. Rhea has a conference in Toronto, and Aryan accidentally meets her at the airport.
A great full circle moment, only this time he's not the one who's lost.
Which brings us to another layer of this, the cultural one, the families.
Right, the classic tradition versus modernity conflict. Aryan's parents are described as very traditional. They expect, a certain kind of match for their son.
And Rhea is not that. She's the flag of rebellion, remember? Independent, modern.
She's not the type to just sit quietly and be evaluated. And this is a huge hurdle for a lot of couples. But Rhea, she's smart about it.
How does she handle it?
She doesn't fight them. She navigates it. The text calls it a dance of tradition and independence. She uses her intellect and her charm. She wins them over by showing that her independence is an asset.
That's some serious emotional intelligence.
You have to imagine Aryan watching this,
Yeah.
seeing this woman who can handle a chaotic airport and his complex family dynamics. That's got to be it for him.
And it is. Which brings us to the climax, the grand gesture. Aryan decides 6 months is too long.
He's done with the schedule. He uses his planning skills, coordinates with her friends at SAIT, and flies to Calgary to surprise her.
So picture it. Friday night, Ray is leaving a lecture. She's tired. And there he is, with pastries.
The pastries are a nice touch, but it's the speech that lands. He says, I don't want 6 months of distance. I don't want 6 years of hesitation.
6 years of hesitation, that line. Wow.
It's so powerful. Is him fully embracing that Neverland idea we talked about? He's choosing the adventure now, not waiting for the perfect time.
And he asks her to be his partner, officially. Sunset over the Calgary skyline. It's the big cinematic moment.
But, and this is why the story is so good, it doesn't end there. The happily ever after isn't the proposal. It's what comes next.
The merger of hearts and minds, this part really blew me away.
Because they don't just move in together. They actually synthesize their careers. Aryan starts using his data analytics background to help Rhea design her corporate curriculums.
So he's helping her organize her chaos professionally.
Yes. And she uses her skills from places like Meta to help him communicate his complex AI work. She helps him tell the story behind his data.
That is the ultimate power couple move. They are literally making each other better at their jobs.
It's true synergy. They didn't compromise, they collaborated. They built something new that was a mix of both order and chaos.
It proves that real partnership isn't just about the romantic stuff. It's about, late nights working on a project together, helping each other prep for a big meeting.
It's sharing the chaos.
The story ends years later. They're telling the story at conferences, apparently, and they keep a rolling suitcase with them.
A perfect symbol. A reminder of where it all started.
It's just amazing to think if he had just been a little more organized that morning.
He would have had a very efficient, very prompt, and completely forgettable trip.
Yeah.
And he would have missed out on his entire life.
And that's the core of it, isn't it? The Neverland syndrome. Being open to the detour, seeing the disaster as a plot twist.
Exactly. We spend so much of our lives trying to smooth out all the bumps. But the memorable parts of life, they're almost always the bumps.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you, the listener, with a thought. We all have those moments, the plan that completely falls apart.
The lost keys, the missed deadline. The gut reaction is to get frustrated.
But what if it's not a disaster? What if it's actually an opening?
A chance to see who shows up to help you navigate it.
So here's the question to think about. What chaos is happening in your life right now that you're trying to fix or control? And what if, just maybe, it's the beginning of your next big adventure?
Sometimes you just have to look for the person wearing the flag of rebellion.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for diving in with us.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.